Hi, my name is Carolina del Carmen Urrutia Menjivar, and in this opportunity I'm going to develop an activity about reading skill. So I want to mention that this activity could be delivered for intermediate level and advanced level. You can choose. As I mentioned before, this activity is about reading skill, and the objective about this activity is that students at the end of the class can analyze what they have read about the reading in order to answer assignment questions. So the indications for this activity are: number one, make groups to work in pairs, but in these occasions I couldn't make groups, but I'm going to try develop alone. The second indication is read the interview that a reporter does with Mr. White, a candidate who wants to be mayor of a city, and then answer the questions. In this reading we have two people, and that is in the first person we have the reporter and the second candidate. Let's start with this reading. Reporter: Mr. White, what will you do if you become the mayor of this city? Candidate: well, I will do everything in my power to improve the current conditions of the city. Reporter: I want to ask you about some specific topics. The first one is education. Candidate: education has been a major problem in this city, so I will build 200 modern schools. I will create a tax in order to support free education for all the citizens. Nevertheless, I won't hire new teachers because we have more than enough. Reporter: now I want to tell me what you will do about the heavy traffic and the traffic jams in the city. Candidate: historically, the town planning office has not been able to manage these issues. As a result, I will invest a large part of the budget of the city in this office. The objective is to reduce the heavy traffic and the traffic jams, not only in the short terms but also in the long term. Reporter: the last two topics are entertainment and culture. Candidate: these two topics make a huge impact on the quality of life of these citizens. Regarding entertainment, I will organize sport tournaments for both children and adults. With respect to culture, the city will hold a cultural event every day. Reporter: thank you, Mr. White. Let's continue with this activity. The first answer that we have is we can infer that Mr. White to make the city a better place to live. We have two possible answers. The first is wants, the second is doesn't want, as you can see. But the answer that I believe that is correct, it's wants. Why? Because as you know, when we talk about a man or woman, we have to add an est. That is because I think this is the answer, wants. The correct sentence is: we can infer that Mr. White wants to make the city a better place to live. The second answer is: according to Mr. White, education has been, for me, is a difficult problem in the city because he wants to build a lot of things. For example, he said that he wants to build 200 schools, but he doesn't have enough money. The third question is: Mr. White, more teachers. We have two possible answers. The first is will need and the second one need. For me, the answer is won't need, little b, because in the reading, Mr. White mentioned that they have more than enough teachers, and they don't need more teachers. The fourth question is Mr. White a lot of the money on the project of the town planning office. We have two possible answers. The first is will spend and the second won't spend. For me is will spend because he will build a lot of things. That is the reason that I think the answer is spend. According to Mr. White, adults, the opportunity to participate in sport competitions, we have two possible answers. The first is will have and the second one have. For me is will have because they mentioned that the activities that they will create will be for adults and children because they want that the adults and children participate in it. The last one is choose a sentence that is not true. For me, we have Mr. White will create a new tax. Letter B, Mr. White won't organize any cultural events. That is not true because he mentions that it will organize cultural activities where people can participate. Could be children and adults. In this, at the end of this presentation or in this activity, we have some words as vocabulary. We have mayor, that is alcalde, improve, mejorar, current, actual, citizens, ciudadanos, hire, contratar, traffic jam, atasco de autos o embotellamiento. That are some words that I put in this presentation. I hope that you like it, and that's it. Thank you very much to pay attention, and bye.